What up, party people? Matt Lehman, the owner of Finders Thrift and Vinyl in La Quinta, California, and SpatulaCityRecords.com. Back to the series. Sorry it took me a little longer. This little baby took a little while to get in, so I was a little slowed down. I had a couple other ones I wanted to do, but I kind of wanted to do this one first. So this is a typical spin clean. For those of you that are just watching this first video and haven't watched the ones previous, I'm kind of going through all the different cleaning processes or items that you can buy to clean records and comparing them to my champion, which is the clear Windex with no ammonia or with vinegar. This beats almost anything for your cheapest, easiest home cleaning system. If you have big money and you want to spend it and you really want clean records and you don't want the hassle of all of that, an ultrasonic cleaner is hands down by far the best. It blows VPI away, it blows everything else away. But we're getting to that, and I still have like 3 or 4 videos before we get to those. This is what's known as a spin clean. You could pick or spin cleaner. This is a Studebaker. This is a cheap one. This was like 25, 30 bucks. I think it was like 35 bucks with shipping or something like that. This will be available for free. I'm going to give this away as a contest tomorrow because I don't need it because I've got ultrasonic cleaners. So I will give this to whomever I pick after the contest next week. So please keep following my videos, like and share them. So there are very different types of spin cleaners. There's probably 10 different ones on the market, different brand names, different styles, different prices. Some of them are motorized, some of them blah, blah, blah. They all do pretty much the same thing. There's a water bath in here. Ironically, on this one, on the directions, it does not say to put water in here. Obviously, you're supposed to. There's really no point not to do it. So there's a little reservoir in here that holds water. It has 2 little felt brushes, and you're supposed to take this and put this on the brushes. Are you kidding? Oh, this has got a top on it. Good thing I'm prepared. Put a couple of drops on here. Oh, it beads into that's weird. So it doesn't really soak it up. It just goes everywhere. So spoiler alert, I'm not a real big fan of these for various reasons, which we'll get into in just a minute. But these brushes don't soak up anything. So I just basically just made a mess on my counter. So you put these little felt brushes in here, and they go butt up against each other. Then you take your dirty records and you slide them in there. I don't have any dirty records. Hang on a second. Let me go downstairs and get some. Took the elevator back. All right, so here's your dirty records. So these records have various amounts of dirt, but I chose these specifically because they have fingerprints. This collection was actually a pretty decent record collection, but there's a lot of like filthy fingerprints on them. And I chose these because as much as I'm a huge fan of the ultrasonic, and it might be my own ignorance or I'm not using the right solution, my ultrasonic generally will not take off oily fingerprints. I have to pre-wash them with Windex and then put them in the ultrasonic. They still play fine. It gets out the grooves, it just doesn't take them off the top, which is very bizarre. But so anyway, I want to see if this will actually take it off. I have not used this before. This is the first time I've used it. I just pulled it out of the box. I know how to use these because I had one when I first opened because I couldn't afford anything else. And I think I used it twice and then gave it away because I hate it. So you put it in here, and it has these little rollers that you can adjust, so you can do 7-inch records, 10-inch records, and you're supposed to do this a couple times, but there's a couple issues with this. If you're just putting distilled water, you're supposed to use distilled water in it. Distilled water beads. You can see it just beads up, so it's not really cleaning a whole lot. Supposedly the brushes are doing all the work. You're supposed to go back and forth like clockwise a couple times and then counterclockwise. The biggest problem that I always had with these is if you do this, the brushes come out. If you do that, see now if I pick that up, now my brushes have gone into the label. So I'm pulling it out now. So I guess my other big problem for this one, they may have fixed that. Usually, every time the other one I had, these roller balls fell out all the time. Maybe this one is a little bit better, or I don't know. First problem is, what am I supposed to do with this wet, sloppy record now? I mean, I could put it on a microfiber towel, but now I'm just picking up all the crap that's on the microfiber towel. They sell secondary or third market racks that you can use, but great, then I have to have another thing. It's just a hassle to me. This is just a nightmare of a situation. Yeah, you can. I know you're like, well, just get a rack and it's not so stupid. Agreed. You can have a rack. My only problem is okay. Then now you're in the record cleaning business. This is not a one-time use. Like if you're going to take a Saturday off and clean all your records, okay, fine. Then it makes sense. But if you just want to clean one record, this is not your typical thing, or this is not your go-to, because now I've got this thing that's full of water. Dirty, soapy water. Where am I going to put it? I can't put it in the kitchen because my wife's not going to let me leave it there. It's not an appliance. I can't put it in the bathroom because my wife's not going to let me leave it there. I'm not going to put it in my office because I am going to knock this over. It's not very well balanced. It's got water all the way up to here with this plastic lid. So you're supposed to pour the water out. Great. So now they got me buying more and more cleaner. And I suspect this stuff is probably not cheap. So those are my main issues with it. They work. They're fine. They're good for what they do, and I guess we'll find out in 45 minutes if this is clean. I'm gonna put this on my rack and see if this works. Actually, I was gonna run it through my VPI, but I can't because then the VPI is doing all the work. I'm stuck here with this wet record. Sorry, I had to walk off camera. All right, so I just put that on my rack to dry for a minute. I'm gonna put this to the side. Now they give you a towel. This doesn't seem like it's gonna be a very good drying towel. Let's see. This is like a sunglasses cleaning towel. Does a fairly good job of drying, but again, you're only going to dry one record with this and then it's completely soaked. It's not completely dry, but I can already see that the fingerprints are still there. Yeah, fingerprints are still there. Let's try a different one. So there's a fingerprint at 2 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. I'm even going to try to hit the spots where where the fingerprints are. So that actually is working better than the one I had. Maybe I just had a cheap one. But I'm also, in order to do this, I've got my fingers all over this record, so I'm probably adding fingerprints to it too. Take it out. Let it drip all over the carpet. Fingerprints are still kind of visible. I'm going to try with my Windex. Yeah, it did a pretty good job. If you want to know what I'm using here to clean this record, Windex and and a fingernail or shoe polish brush. Watch my earlier videos. I know you're all like, if this is your first time watching, you're like, oh my God, he's destroying that record. I'm not. Shut up. Fingerprints are gone. I think, see, there's a lot of, like, if you have dirty records, I think that these brushes, so these felt brushes are basically the same thing as the brush that you use to clean off your records before you play them. They're just a lint brush. They're not designed to get in the grooves of records. So if you have clean records and you're just kind of doing a once over, okay, but why would you go through this process? Look at this, this is a mess. You can use Windex and it's a lot quicker, and you're actually, the Windex and the brush will get in the grooves and clean them out. Or you could use many of the other products that are on the market that don't require all of this mess. If you're buying records at swap meets, garage sales and stuff like that, and they're dirty, this is probably going to help you clean them up quite a bit, but I just don't think it's clean. It's leaving residue on top of the records, which the Windex pulled out. So I think Windex wins this round. I think this is fine. I think it's just messy. I don't like it because you have to, it's a whole system. You have to have this whole thing set up all over the place. You're gonna have crap all over the place. You got your drying rack, you got your towel, you got your solution, you've got your records, and it's just gonna be all over the place. But if you're doing it and you're doing it one time to get through all your records, great, go for it. I still think I would much rather deal with Windex and a scrubby than all of this. I'm sure that some of you are going to argue with me. Please do. I'm more than happy to listen to your arguments and hear what you have to say. For home use, yes, this is good. I just still think Windex is a lot easier and cheaper. So there you have it. I'll see you later. Tomorrow I'll post this and you can have it. I'll pull a name out of the hat or do a randomizer. That's it. Remember, Spatula City Records, buy 9, get 1 free. All of our records are ultrasonically cleaned. I always do that because my ultrasonic is over there. You can't see it. We'll get there eventually. And free shipping on orders of $50 or more. We add new records every Sunday. Last Sunday we added somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 records. I'm hoping to do the same this week. So I'll see you next week. Boom!